This program, featuring accomplished practitioners, educators, and authors, is provided by Infinity Foundation, an innovative center for holistic studies and research. We invite you to share this journey with us.
Hello, welcome to Inner Quest. My name is Jay Stone, and our guest today is BodyTalk practitioner Ben. Welcome, Ben.
Thank you.
Well, we have a winner on the set. Tell our audience your last name and what it means.
The last name is Manalo.
Manalo.
Yeah, and that means a winner in Tagalog, which is a Filipino language.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me tell the audience a little bit about your background. Ben has been practicing massage therapy since 1997 and taught massage for nearly 5 years at the Chicago School of Massage Therapy. In 2001, he trained in a revolutionary approach to health care called the BodyTalk system with BodyTalk's developer, Dr. John Valheim. So tell our audience, what is the BodyTalk system?
The BodyTalk system is a state-of-the-art approach to healthcare, which uses the fundamental principles of science and math and applies it to healthcare in a very logical, systematic, and very down-to-earth way.
Okay, now I hear you use science and math, but where does intuition fall? Because it's not very scientific or mathematical, you know, that right brain hemisphere. Does BodyTalk allow for intuition?
BodyTalk definitely allows for intuition. Actually, part of what makes the BodyTalk system so effective is that there is very much of a balance between left brain and right brain. So you need to have the intuition and the flexibility that intuition offers, but you also need to have the structure and the system and the practicality that the left brain offers.
So it sounds to me like there's emphasis on balance in BodyTalk?
Exactly. Balance is definitely key. We're always working with the balance between yin and yang and masculine and feminine energies in the BodyTalk system. Okay,
and what other ways does BodyTalk strive for balance?
BodyTalk strives for balance in a lot of different ways. Because BodyTalk is a holistic healthcare system, we're looking at balance not just of the physical health and the physical body, but also balance on the psychological, on the mental level, balance of a person's emotional health and well-being, and also balance in their spiritual life. And by spiritual life, what we're referring to is more along the lines of Chinese medicine's approach to
like energy
spirituality. Yeah, energy medicine, and the idea of spirituality being that of someone really being in touch with their heart and following their heart. So being balanced in that sense as well.
Okay. Now, you're a massage therapist, so I assume you touch your clients. Can you pick up imbalances when you're massaging a client?
I do intuitively tend to feel some type of shifts and balances, I guess I would say, in a client's energies when I am performing massage, but I have to be honest and say that massage therapy these days really makes up a very small part of my practice. The majority of my practice these days is the BodyTalk system.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and how does the BodyTalk work in addition to creating balance?
Well, the BodyTalk system, again, it's a very complex, very comprehensive system. And to really understand how the BodyTalk system works, you really need to understand three of the main principles behind BodyTalk. Mm-hmm. One is that the body has an innate wisdom. It has a natural, inborn ability to heal itself, to repair itself, and it's always striving towards that type of
Would you
balance.
also say this innate system is also for personal growth and personal development?
Oh, definitely. Actually, in my experience as both a client of the BodyTalk system as well as a practitioner, the personal growth and development aspect of it, the self-awareness that the BodyTalk system provides, is probably the biggest benefit of the system.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's emphasize it again. What do you mean by self-awareness?
So self-awareness is becoming aware of who we are, and some people would say who we are not, becoming aware of our attitudes, our beliefs, our habits, our thought processes, and all of the things, and also becoming aware of our essence, like I said, becoming aware of who we are, following our heart.
Mm-hmm. So being aware of that subtle energy the non-material, the chi, the ki, the life force, the vital energy.
Yeah, I would definitely say that as well. You know, the BodyTalk system is called BodyTalk for a reason. Our bodies are always talking to us. They're always communicating with us. They're telling us what the imbalances are. They're talking to us through our diseases, telling us, you know, what exactly is wrong with us, what we need in order to heal ourselves. But unfortunately, most of us aren't always listening to our bodies and have difficulty actually understanding what our bodies are trying to tell us.
Well, I find that if I don't listen to my body, or my clients don't listen to the body, whatever problem they have just keeps getting worse and worse and worse,
right,
till the body gets our attention. But I also know on the flip side that sometimes our body talk says, yes, this is right, this is good for us.
Right, yeah.
And I also find that our body also listens to us, whatever thoughts we may be having, whatever our beliefs are. Well, why don't you expound on the body as a listener?
Well, of course it goes both ways. You know, we're talking, you know, we're on a program and show that talks about it's holistic in nature, and so the interconnectedness between body, mind, and spirit. So yes, you know, there is this aspect of us needing to listen to our bodies and hear what our bodies and understand what our bodies are telling us. But of course it goes the opposite way as well. So our bodies are always going to reflect our attitudes, reflect our beliefs, reflect various states of consciousness and states of awareness that we have. So that's all going to show up in various forms of physical disease or mental disease or emotional health.
Ben, you are teaching some classes at the Infinity Foundation.
Yes.
And you tell our audience what you teach in the classes. How long does it take to learn the BodyTalk system?
Well, there's actually the class that's coming up at the Infinity Foundation. That's actually going to be at the end of January. It's going to be taught over 3 consecutive Tuesday evenings, the last Tuesday in January and then the first 2 Tuesdays in February. And that is a one-day class called BodyTalk Access. And in that class, we teach a series of 5 of the most basic but most powerful BodyTalk techniques. And they comprise a program of these 5 techniques that a person can actually use as a daily healthcare routine on themselves or on other people to really address about 60% of your day-to-day health issues. So that's actually one level of the BodyTalk system and the training that goes with it.
I would like to hear more about those 5 techniques. Can you just discuss those techniques briefly?
Sure. The techniques that are addressed are cortices, which is a brain balancing technique. So when we teach the cortices technique, that particular technique is intended to increase and enhance the balance between left brain function and right brain function. And it's a very powerful technique. Actually, we say that of all of the BodyTalk techniques in the basic training, the cortices technique is probably the most powerful because the brain reflects everything that's going on in the body on the physical level, emotional, mental, spiritual, and vice versa. Everything that's going on in the body is reflected in the brain. So if we can do a balancing for the brain, such as the cortices technique, it actually has a very profound effect on the person's overall health. Well, so that's one of the techniques.
Well, it's interesting because our mind talks with the body, body talks with the mind, but our right and left brain hemispheres talk with one another. Our right brain hemisphere is more visual. Our left brain hemisphere is more auditory, thinks in words. The right brain hemisphere thinks in pictures. And between the 2 brain hemispheres, the corpus callosum, there's about 1 billion bits of information that pass through per second. If you ask me, that's the real information highway. So we naturally cycle back and forth between words and pictures and words. So I find that the 2 brain hemispheres is body talk, what's communicating between the 2. I'm interested in hearing this technique to balance the 2 hemispheres out. Can you share a little bit of that?
Sure. The cortices technique, it's actually comprised of several hand positions. And this is actually something that actually has, like I said, it has a very profound impact on people's health. It's actually also described in the BodyTalk book.
I'll hold this up for our ace camera person, Stacy, over there.